going on, guys? Oh my Godzilla back with a very exciting Jurassic figure review for you today. Guys, we have from Jurassic World Rebirth, the Lab Lockdown Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is one of the best T-Rex figures I've seen in a really long time. I think Mattel did an excellent job on this figure. As without further ado, let's jump right in.
Oh my god!
Jumping back to when this figure was still in the packaging, as you can see, pretty nice basic open face packaging. Got the Rex logo down there, Rebirth, couple of little images here, the Try Me button there. Flip it around, just the simple logo. Back at the packaging does kind of show the movement that it makes. Another just little logo. And the important part, guys, snag that barcode if you need it. Go ahead and pause the video, take a picture of that. You can bring that to the employees at Target and Walmart, have them scan it, and see if this figure is going to be in stock anywhere in your stores. And we are back with our Jurassic World Rebirth Lab Lockdown Tyrannosaurus Rex figure. And guys, this is one of the best T-Rex figures I have ever seen. It's definitely a very awesome figure. I love, first of all, the kind of just the color scheme that they chose for this design of the Rex. I really love it. I love the kind of striped look we get on the top of the back. Very cool. I love kind of the brownish look. The underside of the jaw is a very nice color. And I really love the bulk that this T-Rex gets. Nice, big, thick legs, big body. And I really love how the head and the neck kind of connect. There's this raised little hump back here. Just really makes this figure look a little bit more of like just a big, menacing, powerful T-Rex. So that is very commendable. Well done, Mattel, on that. And jumping into paint and detail, guys, we definitely have some stuff to talk about. Nice detailed claws here. Nicely painted, just black here. They actually are a solid piece along with the bottom of the foot. We do have the Jurassic logo there and the little DNA blurb there. But nicely painted black toe claws. And then moving into the feet. Good texture and detail, guys. Not bad at all. We got definitely some texture throughout here. Nice little kind of rib section on the top, moving into kind of the back of the leg and the calf. We do have great detail. You can kind of see where the, nice calf muscle there. Nice texture along the top of the leg, and even some more kind of muscle divots in there. Moving into the body, lots of nice little ridges and notches that this figure boasts. Very cool. More kind of just definition along the figure. Very good. The inside of the leg has some good definition. Moving on the other side. Underside of the body even has some pretty decent texturing. Nothing crazy, but it's present for sure. So that's definitely very good to see. The tail, probably the least detailed part of this figure. We do lose that cool striped black paint, which is definitely annoying. I hate it when they just do a hard cut off of paint on a separate piece. And the tail's fairly short, but that's okay. But definitely detail is still present. We do have some of our kind of little notches here. Not bad at all. But there is the tail. Moving back into the face and neck of the Rex. Beautiful detail. I love how you can just tell like this is like just nice loose neck skin. More texture and detail back here. They did a great job on this figure for sure. And then I really love the skin on the underside of the jaw. Just all the texture in here. Tons of different stuff. Underside of the jaw, really detail is just awesome. Inside, and then the face, very good as well. I love just the very simple stuff we have. You kind of got the skull pattern, but then also, it's dented a little bit in there intentionally. Little ridges, little notches, very cool. Around the eye, again, looks beautiful. I love the eye is painted very accurately. Nice yellow paint. Check out the Rex from the front. Not bad at all. Very imposing. Detail on the face is still present. The nostril. Moving inside the mouth there. Again, teeth just going to be kind of a rubbery. They're not hurting anybody. But you do have kind of, the side is present. It has some detail there. The tongue has some detail. Bottom of the jaw has detail in there. Even the back has detail. Top is very well detailed. So they definitely did not really leave much off the table in terms of detail on this figure. They did a very good job with this figure. Taking a quick peek at the effect of this figure. No sound on this figure, which I actually kind of prefer because, I'm not playing with the figures enough to really warrant a battery and sound, and then having to worry about, is the battery sitting in there corroding, blah, blah, blah. So I would much rather have a simple effect like this. All it is, button on the back there, and he opens and closes the mouth. I really do prefer this to a sound effect because it's simpler, it's easier, it keeps the figure cheaper, and I don't have to worry about changing batteries, corroding batteries. It's just one less thing I have to worry about. I definitely appreciate that. In terms of articulation, we are going to have that foot articulation, and again, like I said with some of the other figures in this line, this little key thing is actually a piece of, like, the plastic goes in there from the packaging. So there's something up in the foot. The foot's actually turned around backwards in the packaging, and that thing's up in there. And you actually have to, like, twist the foot in the packaging to line that up and be able to pull it out. So it's kind of just an extra measure to keep the figure secured in the packaging. But so that's why that hole is there, and presumably partially why the feet rotate. But both of them do rotate, so that's good to see. The legs do rotate. Gonna go from back. You could probably, yeah, we're gonna be able to force 360. I don't love it. I don't feel too much paint scratching. Maybe right in that section, so I definitely wouldn't do too often with the 360, but it can be done. The tail cam is a separate piece, and it is on a ball joint. So up, down, side, side. Good movement out of there. It also spins, for those of you wondering. Back of the tail also does spin if you want to do random articulation with the back of the tail. In terms of the arms, which I did forget to mention in the detail breakdown, unfortunately, seemingly a common thread with these new Jurassic figures, they are not painting the hand claws. I definitely wish they were, but a lot of these figures are leaving the hand claws unpainted. Detail is great, but they are unpainted. But the movement is pretty solid, in, out, and as well as, can spin, can get that 360. So pretty posable arms. They'll be able to do really anything that you would want them to do. And then in the face and the neck, just on a nice simple ball joint here. So good mobility out of the neck. You can look down, look up, look side to side very well. That's awesome. And then you can open and close the jaw by itself if you want, or you can use the articulation on the button. There's no posability between the head and the neck. That's just that jaw hinge. So that's the only articulation you're going to get out of the head, but still a very posable figure nonetheless. We are going to do some sizing of this figure real quick. Head to tail's measured about 16 inches in length, and at the top of the head, just north of 7 inches there. Starting with the tail thrash Spinosaurus, I have no idea. Jurassic seems to be very interesting with the scaling of their lines, so I don't really know if these figures are supposed to be to scale. The scaling actually doesn't look too terrible. In terms of just how the figures, obviously the Spinosaurus is very large, but the scaling's not awful. The Spinosaurus is probably oversized, and I don't know if these figures are supposed to size with each other at all anyways, but there's the sizing with the tail thrash. The Rumble and Rampage Distortus Rex, another figure. I have no idea if this is actually to scaling, proper scaling with that we'll see in the movie, if we even see these two characters on screen at the same time. But here's how they will kind of stack up. The Distortus, definitely a very large figure, large character if this is a proper scaling, but again, I'm not sure. One of the only figures I bought from the smaller lines of the new Jurassic was the Utahraptor. I had to snag it. Utahraptor is one of my favorites. So here's how the Rex is going to scale with this Utahraptor. Obviously, this is not to scale. Utahraptor is not quite this big compared to a Rex. And the Bite and Blast Mosasaurus. Again, no idea if this is how the Rex and the Mosasaurus would scale in the movie. I'm honestly hoping I'm hoping the Mosasaurus just stays to the water scenes, the Rex stays to the land scenes. I don't want to do too much crossover, so hopefully we don't ever see these two guys side by side in the actual film, but there's how they're gonna scale up. Mosasaurus, obviously a lot larger than our Lab Lockdown Rex. Here we have the Hammond Collection Rex, obviously gonna stand a little bit larger at the hip there, and then the Hammond Rex is gonna also be a lot longer. They're lined up on that side, and the Hammond Rex is going to have that much length on the Lab Lockdown Rex. So definitely an interesting scaling to see them side by side. And here we have the Hammond Collection Spinosaurus, obviously a lot larger than our Lab Lockdown Rex. Spinosaurus could, you can stand the Spinosaurus up way high. So this scaling is obviously not going to be very true to anything, but interesting to see nonetheless. And that about wraps up this video. I want to keep it short and sweet. What are your thoughts on the Mattel Jurassic World Rebirth Lab Lockdown Tyrannosaurus Rex? I'm very interested to see why it's called the Lab Lockdown. I'm really interested to see how that scene kind of plays out. I assume we're going to see him at some point in one of the labs on the island. Very cool to see what they end up doing with the Rex. Obviously, T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur, so I'm really excited to see how they implement it in the upcoming film. But guys, let me know your thoughts on this figure in the comment section below. Is this one of your favorite Rexes we've seen in a while? This for sure is to me. And just seeing this, especially seeing this next to the Hammond Collection Rex, really makes me hope that Mattel at some point redoes completely the Hammond Collection T-Rex, gives us one kind of more true to this figure, bulkier, bigger, the thicker legs. The legs on a Hammond Collection Rex are so skinny and weird. So hopefully they do another Hammond Collection T-Rex. That would be awesome. I would definitely buy a couple of those. Guys, once again, let me know your thoughts on this figure in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next one.